Hello there! What is going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the IG-100 Magna guards. We have the unit card previewed. We're going to be breaking that down. I'll give you my reactions to it. I'm going to be talking about this a little bit, comparing them to the Royal Guard a little bit in today's video. Also, a little reminder, if you guys still haven't already, there's time left to enter to win the $25 Amazon gift card giveaway. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. We'll be announcing the winner for that next week. I usually do that at the end of my videos. There's also still time left to enter to win some of the giveaways that are going on in Discord right now. We're giving away a Krennic and Jin Urso promo that was from the last live stream. It's in Discord. There's a channel in there in the giveaways channel. You just have to react with an emoji and you'll get pinged if you win. So there's still a few days left on both of those giveaways. Also stay tuned on Sunday. We're going to be coming back with another double critical. So Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be going live. We'll be taking your questions. We'll be talking about all of the news recently, especially the drama with Atomic Mass Games and all of that, because there's been some new interesting things that I want to talk about that we haven't talked about yet. So so all of that stuff, Sunday for all of that, so tune in for that. But I think that's about it for most of the news and the admin stuff. Check the links down in the description below, and let's dive in and start talking about the IG-100. So the IG-100 Magna guards, Grievous's bodyguards, the awesome looking things. I think people have been expecting these for a very, very long time, so it's nice to see the unit card here. They are coming in at 72 points. For upgrades, they can take 1 heavy, 2 training, 1 comm, 1 grenade. For keywords, they've got AI, dodge, and move. And they have charge. They have got Guardian 2 with the commander, so they have to only Guardian a commander rank. They have immune to melee pierce. They have the Retinue commander keyword, also unhindered. They have a red defense die, 2 health, 2 courage, 3 miniatures in the unit. Surge to hit, no defensive surge. 2 speed movement, so speed 2, and they are having a range 1 to 2 precision laser dart of a black and a white, and a 2 black dice electro staff, which is pretty decent. Honestly, first impressions for me, I was like, well, this is a pretty good unit. So I'm gonna start with I'll start with everything on the left hand side. Well, I'll start from the top down, I think, actually, because I want to talk about the number of minis in the unit. 3 minis in the unit. We're getting 6 in the box. So, and that's pretty cool, because they did show, like, we were looking at some of the stuff from the Asmodee site, and it showed 6 minis in the box, but you could build, like, your heavy weapons as regular guys. And so I think that that's interesting. I don't think that that's going to be what most of us do. I think most of us are going to assemble the heavy weapons, and this will really just be 1 unit. But it is a cool option that you can build 2 units out of it. What I think is more likely is that you pick up 2 of these, and then you have enough to build 3 units out of that. Because maybe you'll run like 2 whips and then just 1 with, just the regular guys, or stuff like that. You're gonna have like a lot of different variations on if you buy 2 boxes of this. So I think, based on the unit count and the number of minis in the box, it's going to be kind of like, for me, an Inferno Squad type of situation, where if you play Empire, picking up 2 of the Inferno Squad units gives you, like, maximum capability of actually being able to run, like, 3 ISF also and Inferno Squad, because you kind of didn't have enough to actually run, Inferno Squad and ISF in just the 1 box. But if you picked up 2, you could then run 3 units. I think that's what this is going to kind of work out. 72 points is not bad. That's cheap. That's cheaper than the Royal Guard. They have a single heavy, which we'd expect. They have 2 training, kind of like the Royal Guards do. They have comm, which is going to be something more common that droids have. And they have grenades. I don't know if grenades are going to be that important for these guys unless they come with like some kind of new grenade anytime soon. So I don't, I'm not as impressed with the grenade option. I think the training options are going to be where we really get, nice ways to kind of open this unit up and do some crazy stuff. And it's funny to me that like Into the Fray is like one of those new cards, like, oh, free surge. Well, they need it much less because they already have surge to hit. So, you know, I think we're going to be getting stuff in here, and we'll have to see what else is in here, because there's still upgrades from this wave that haven't been spoiled, and I think we're going to see some things to help out the Royal Guards as well. But we do have the single heavy. We have a rocket launcher and a whip, and we haven't seen those upgrades yet. So, you know, I'll be able to speculate a little bit on what we'll see with those. But I kind of, based on what we see here, I expect the rocket launcher to have impact, maybe cumbersome. I guess we'll see on that. Because that would interact with the AI dodge and move, and so if he's got cumbersome, you know, you probably don't want to move, and so that gives you some choices to make. He might not. He might have cycle. I think cycle is a nice option for heavy weapons now, and I think it's a cool thing that they can do a little bit more. But it also means that maybe they should go back and add cycle to a lot of the older heavy weapons that don't have it, that probably should. We'll see. I think the light whip is going to be interesting because the unit already has immune to pierce for melee, and that's kind of like, you know, if we compare it to the Royal Guard a little bit, we were like, that was like their Royal Guard heavy gave them that immunity to pierce. So maybe the light whip will give them a piercing effect for melee attacks. I expect the light whip or the laser whip will have maybe a red defense die, or maybe just more dice. Maybe not necessarily. I don't think, because they have surge to hit, I don't think red dice is as crucial for these guys. I think they could get away with having maybe a heavy that has 4 dice in melee. I mean, that could be a thing. You know, that, like, I think that would be kind of a fun option for them, although that might be a little bit too much because you're running a lot of stuff. So maybe 3 dice in melee is all they really need for that. But yeah, it all depends on what colors they want to go with. If they wanted to add some white dice to it to give it a higher damage ceiling, you combine that with the surge for attack. I think that's pretty good. Surge to hit is a nice thing. It makes your white dice a lot more likely to give you some good results. So so I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, kind of a little bit of a spread, and I think like a whip is a little bit more, a little bit less precise, perhaps. So I think maybe some white dice on the whip would be a little bit appropriate. Maybe a red and 3 white or something like that for melee. I don't know. We'll have to see. So when we do find out what those are, of course, I'll be bringing that to you. So all right, let's talk a little bit about the upgrades, we talked about the upgrade, the keywords: AI, dodge, and move. I like this. This is something we've seen a little bit with other special forces. I especially like AI move when you have charge, and this is something that the commandos could get if you wanted to put them in their melee modes, give them their swords, and have them running in, cutting stuff up. It almost feels like it's not AI at all if you're running them aggressively and you want to take use of charge. If you happen to be hiding, dodge is not a problem. Dodge is also pretty good considering they have no defensive surge. I mean, it's not the best action, but it's better than, like, you know, than certain other things. But honestly, AI attack wouldn't have been as bad on these guys considering they're at range 2. If they have the chance to attack, it's a great thing because they're usually not going to have it. But yeah, no. So AI dodge and move is okay because move is going to work really well with charge. So you can even get your move attack if you need to even with AI. Guardian 2 for Commander. This is one we knew about. Luke Eddy had spoiled this when he was still with Atomic Mass Games during the last mini extravaganza. And basically that they're not going to Guardian somebody. They're not going to Guardian a B1 battle droid. Unless, of course, because of the way this is written, it certainly appears to me that once you promote a new commander, let's say you run Grievous and some B1s, and Grievous dies, you have to promote a new commander, you'll make somebody else a new commander, and then all of a sudden you can then Guardian that commander unit. So if a B1 became your commander, they could, although I think that's a little bit less likely to happen. But I think a more realistic scenario is if you run a T-Series tactical droid, he ends up dying, and you had Darth Maul in there also, then maybe these guys could Guardian Maul if you made Maul your commander. Because that does actually change the rank, and the rank that you assign, the order token you assign to them. Immune to melee Pierce already cooked in is real nice. It's real nice, especially in a wave that's adding yet another saber wielder to the Republic. Between Yoda, Anakin, and Obi-Wan, now all for the Republic, there are a lot of melee piercers out there that these guys are likely to face. So having immune to melee pierce is huge. I like that. I like that a lot. And that's also going to, I believe that's going to factor in pretty well with Guardian, because they can, well, it depends, because I believe they can spend the Pierce, you know, they could opt to spend it on you if they wanted to. But Retinue is a keyword we've seen only a few times before, and it's usually been used specifically on unique characters, like, for example, Inferno Squad with Retinue Iden Versio and Clan Ren with Retinue Sabine Ren. Retinue here is used in a little bit more of a generic sense for a commander. So if you are at range 1 to 2 of a friendly commander, you're going to gain an aim and a dodge token. By the way, I don't even believe you have to have line of sight here for Retinue. So if you happen to be on the other side of a wall, you wouldn't be able to Guardian them. So I like the way that these want to be played is moving with your commander, protecting your commander. I think they will work pretty well with a T series. I mean, they'd be nice against any commander, really, especially those commanders that your opponent's going to want to kill right away, which is pretty much all of them, right? Again, I don't know how squishy our super tactical droid is going to be just yet, or all the versions of our, Kraken or Kalani or any of the super tactical droids are going to be. So maybe they'll be maybe some of the best targets for the IG-100. But yes, very, very nice keyword there that just gives you free tokens at the beginning. And I especially like it because droids seldom get to aim. Especially AI droids, which is pretty much droids. There's so many times where they have to do something else. And so, at least when I play droids. Now, granted, if you're playing droids right and you're getting orders to everybody, then you have the freedom to aim. But, but I end up screwing that up a lot. So, me personally, I'm ranking the Retinue ability as probably my favorite one. Well, no, Charge is a free action. So, Charge is good. Retinue is one of the best abilities out there right now for droids. So, I really like this. I think it's just a cool ability to get free tokens, and those aims are going to be really, really useful, especially with the surge to hit. Those black dice, they have a really good chance of turning a blank into a hit that way. And unhindered, okay. I mean, I could just give them the gun that gives them scale too, but all right, unhindered is fine. Let's see what else. 2 health per mini. Now, I'm a little surprised because there is not a keyword that allows them to keep fighting even if their head gets chopped off. And that was part of the article that not the article really, but the blurb. If you go to pre-order them on the Asmodee site, there's like a little write-up talking about them. They have the ability to keep fighting even through damage, even if their head is chopped off. So it makes me wonder: is there going to be some kind of upgrade that they can get that allows them to keep fighting with their head chopped off? Or I honestly thought that they were going to have an ability, kind of like emergency stims, even though they apparently don't have an equipment slot, that allows them not to be removed from the play area. You don't even the minis. The minis don't come off. The minis stay up and standing and still able to fight until the end of turn, even if they're killed. And the only exception to that is if the entire unit is wiped out. That's what I thought we were going to see with these guys. That sounds like that would be a really cool, you blasted my full 4 minis, that's 8 health. Oh, boom, boom, you got a huge shot at range, and it's got Pierce on it. You took out 3 of them. All right, maybe you got 6 damage through and took out 3. Well, it's my turn to activate them. I still move forward with all 4 minis and attack you. And then, at the end of the round, that's when they die. I was expecting them to have some kind of baked-in emergency stim kind of capability. And it doesn't appear that they have that, although granted they could have an upgrade. They could totally have that type of upgrade as a IG-100 Magna Guard specific capability. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose, but that's kind of what the write-up made it sound like they were going to have. All right, so red defense die, great. Surge to hit, great. Their weapons are decent, but maybe not the best, but certainly bolstered by the fact that they have surge to hit. Now, I think at this point I want to compare them to the IG or the IRG. So, look, Royal Guard's more expensive. They're 3 points more expensive, and they have straight up less stuff. Also, the IG-100 are droid troopers, so even though they're Courage 2, the suppression's not going to hurt them nearly so badly. So, you know, like while the IRG also have disciplined too, the IG-100 kind of have that sort of baked in by nature of being droid troopers. It's kind of a bummer. I mean, there's pros and cons with that, because also, all right, well, if somebody rolls a droid popper grenade at you, that could hurt you too. But nobody's running those, right? Nobody's gonna run, you know, like the ion as a keyword is really kind of only gonna work against one faction, and you're not guaranteed to ever play that faction, you know. So that, and I know that that's not a completely accurate statement, because it still works against vehicles too, but I just don't see that many people running a lot of ion. It's for the droid thing to really be much of a weakness. Okay, so still they both have charge, they both have guardian. The IG-100 is a little bit more limited with their guardian. The IRG can guardian anybody, of course, except for another guardian. You can't guardian another unit that has guardian already. IRG, I mean, the health and the everything else is the same. Right? They have equipment, which is one difference, but the IRG has better weapons. Or do they? Right? It's the same number of dice and the same ranges, but the IRG each has an upgraded color for each one, whereas the Magna Guard have surge to hit. And without running all the number crunchings, you know, IG-100 and Magna Guard, I think, is just a slightly, like, it's close, but I think the IRG kind of beat them out. However, if you add in the Retinue, well, the aim, I think, makes more than makes up for it. So I think the IG-100 come out on top because of an aim and surge to hit. I kind of, you know, I kind of got to give them some points there. So I guess AI is a little bit of a negative. They seem kind of like they're, you know, kind of close, but I think the built-in melee pierce immunity that the IRG have to you know, pay extra for to get that extra guy. Kind of gives, you know, I think basically it gives the IG-100 a little bit of an edge. I think they're better than the Royal Guard, and I think the Royal Guard probably need a points reduction, but that's only based on what I've seen so far. There's definitely more upgrades that are coming out there. You know, Into the Fray changes things, and that'll be better for IRG. You know, and of course they're in different factions, so the balance doesn't have to line up exactly, because maybe the IRG have better targets to be guardianed. You know, look at Palpatine, for example. You kind of have to look at the worst case scenario. IRG might have to cost more because every damage saved off of Palpatine is another lightning attack to finish you off on the last turn of the game, right? But, you know, because of his one pip. So like, again, it's not completely comparing apples to oranges, but it does, at least at first glance, look like the IG-100 have a slight edge in that they have better keywords, and the surge to hit also kind of just add up to maybe a little bit more pleasing package, even though there are some vulnerabilities in there, but they're more situational vulnerabilities. Like for AI to actually hurt you, for one, you'd have to not have a face-up order token, which you might not. And for two, you'd have to be maybe out of melee. You'd have to be in a situation where you needed to do something else first, like claim an objective and then attack, or claim an objective and then move away. Like if you're touching an objective and you needed to claim it and get out of there, well, now you might not be able to, right? Like, so there are certain corner cases where that'll be bad. And then, of course, if you're going up against Ion, that could be a limitation also, although that's not really, it's not that heavy that many people are running ionization. So I think they come out on top of the IRG, but we'll have to wait and see all the other upgrades that come out there. And, you know, and like, you know, there's Guardian boosts also, but that seems like that's going to affect them both the same way. You know, that's kind of how it looks. Maybe we'll get some more maybe more personnel upgrades that have new heavy weapons for all of the different units. You know, maybe there'll be an Imperial Heavy Weapons Miniatures Part 1 pack that has like new IRG and new, you know, biker scouts and all kinds of stuff like that someday too, you know, to kind of spicing things up a little bit. I would love like a Kir Kanas or a Karnar Jax mini for the Imperial Royal Guard also. Let me know what you would think about something like that, because that would be really cool. That would be better if they were like an operative or some, like, you know, a special expansion, but they came with the little mini card that they could go in here too. Oh, let me know. I want to hear from you guys down in the comments section, or jump in Discord. Let's talk about it there, because these guys look pretty good. And the fact that they're giving you a whole bunch in the box is also really groovy. They're gonna be interesting. They might be a little tough to paint because those cloaks are gonna be on there. So I know a lot more people that I've talked to lately are still painting while on the sprue. Might be a good candidate for something like that. I guess we'll have to see. I don't know if I could do it though. I don't know if I could do it. All right, you guys. That's gonna do it for today's video. Tune in Sunday for Double Critical, and big thanks to my patrons. You guys are absolutely spectacular. I couldn't do it without you guys, and you know, thank you for continuing to support the channel. All right, I'll talk to you guys later, and always remember, if you're cleaning a Rancor cage, be sure to cover your nose.